Jordan Love's day. Let's talk about Jay Love today. And again, he had a lighter workload today, participated in footwork drills and threw into nets during individuals, only simulated throws in the running backs, period. Okay, so they kind of held him back a little bit today. In 11-on-11 drills, he was sharp, completing 9 of 11 passes with 3 touchdowns. The 2 incompletions included 1 questionable official call. The hell's their problem over there, Tim? The official screwed
They
us
let
over.
AFAM into practice and I didn't grab them and pick them out of there?
Idiots.
Unbelievable. So, including 1 questionable official call and an intentional throwaway. So, what it tells you is he was 10 of 11, essentially, right? Adjusted completion, ratio or what have you. He was 10 of 11 with 1 of them being the only incompletion could have been a questionable call. So sound like Jordan Love had a heck of a day. And Bill Huber said he was the player of the day. Jordan Love started strong with a bullet pass to Savion Williams for a leaping catch. Let's freaking go. In the red zone, short completion to Matthew Golden, one-handed touchdown catch by Tucker Kraft, rolled out of bounds. All right, that must have been the one. Touchdown rifle to Williams with potential big hit. I like that they mention that too. That, you know what I mean, Emilio? Like you'll see a guy make a catch and they're like, listen, this had been a game. He probably would have taken a shot in the ribs and dropped the ball. I think it's important to put that stuff into context. TD pass to Golden, detailed below. Ran a quarterback option for a touchdown after faking out Isaiah Simmons. Did we just hear Jordan Love running the read option, boys?
Wow.
Let's get it. It didn't sound like a lot day to me.
Hey, sure beats another damn jet sweep, right? Let's go.
And it brings that 6 back in there. I mean, you got to worry about another player. He doesn't have to do it all the time. Once, twice, max 3 times a game. If we need him 4 or 5, fine. But just you got to keep him honest.
Yeah. And what Emilio means by 6 back when he says that, guys, there's a term that's used by front office personnel and coaches across the league. It's called the 6-back offense. And what that means is typically you only have to account for 5 weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Like when you're on defense, you got to cover, it could be 5 receivers if they're on the field. It could be 4 receivers, 1 running back. It could be 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 running back. You've always got 5 that you've got to kind of account for, right? That's why if you want to bring a 0 blitz, you got to have 5 in coverage and man coverage, all those things. When you say 6-back offense, the quarterback with the RPR game, run, pass, run option, now you have to account for the quarterback. So now it goes from what we call a 5-back offense that you're defending to a 6-back offense, and it changes the numbers game. And again, it's all
6-back, not 6-pack, Jacob.
Yes, that's correct.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to, sir. So that's what Emilio meant by 6-back offense. You guys can kind of do a little research. It's what Philly does so well. The RPR, like when he said option play, I imagine it was just a zone read option play, but it may have been an RPR. Not having the tape, you don't know. But like with the zone read, typically what you'll do is you'll put the ball in the belly of the running back and you'll read the end. If the end crashes inside, you pull it and you keep it with the quarterback. If the end stands straight up, he strafes, he squares up like, okay, I'm covering the running back, or I'm covering the quarterback contain. You give it to the running back and he takes off the field, right? With the RPO look, run pass option, you've got a run and a pass baked into the same place. So you may have a bubble screen with 2 lead blockers with the trips left look. You got a sidecar right. You're going to put the ball in the belly of the running back. And if that guy that's covering the 3, which is the bubble, if he crashes in to help with the run, you fire it out to the bubble. If he holds his ground, you just give it to the running back, and you now have the hat count +1 because that guy's isolated with the bubble screen, the smoke, whatever it may be on the outside, and you could give the ball to the running back, and now you got a light box essentially, right? Because, I mean, all football is attacking space and defending space. That's all it is. It's such a simple game. And then you take it 1 layer deeper and you're talking hat counts. You always want to be +1 hat. So when you go RPR, so we explain what a zone read is. We explain what a run pass option is. Now with a run pass run option, there's a 3rd layer to it to where you can give the ball to the running back. You can throw, and I'm just saying bubble. It don't have to be a bubble. It could be a lookie.
You can do a quick slant. Yeah, you can do a lookie. You got a pop pass. Oh, yes. Clayton, the pop pass in college football.
Cheese.
That got me a win. That was a 2-point converter right there. That got me a W. So
we're going to give him some.
Did you beat
Miami. I was Florida State. I beat Miami. I play Clemson tonight or tomorrow.
I don't know. It might have been Podunk University. I don't know. But anyway, with the 3rd layer of it, you know what I mean? you can hand the ball to the running back, you can fire the bubble, or the quarterback can pull it and run it himself. Yep. So you've got 3 layers: run, pass, run, option. That's RPR. That's a 6-back offense. That was really.
And I like that Jay Love was talking about that in his interview about, hey, going back, obviously, maybe some of the why I didn't run was injury wise, but also looking at the tape, like, dude, I had a chance there. Why did I force that in there? I could have just taken 8 yards right there and been fine. So I like that he was going back, saw that on the tape, not just injury wise, let alone he was able to notice that. He was able to notice. That he had those opportunities.
I am done with this chat for the rest.
Dennis shook in the chat.
I can't look at this chat anymore.
Dennis shook in the chat. So I'd love to give Emilio a lookie.
I didn't know if I could put that.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
You're not allowed to put that up, Jacob. I am, though. If we get canceled, it's going to be my fault. Okay? That's how this works. So.
That's nice. Can I ask you guys a question quick?
Yeah, man. What's up?
So I don't know if you saw, but apparently the NFL. God dang it, Emilio. The NFL, I don't know if it's the front office, the PA, whatever you want to say, they announced, I believe, that they did some sort of study looking back at the last 5 to 10 years and decided that guys that play significant or meaningful time in preseason are 30 to 40% less likely to sustain injuries. Now, in that same vein, do you see maybe LaFleur got that info? I thought I saw that LaFleur said that he wanted to get all 4 quarterbacks meaningful playing time in the first preseason, at which point all of a sudden, as if it was like an en vogue kind of mass, media blitz, every single team that I've been seeing is like, we're going to get our guys some playing time. We're going to get them in the first and the second, the third preseason game. That being said, do you think that Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love are looking at the fact that, like Emilio just said, last year they were tentative. They didn't want him necessarily to test that injury, which I get, right? But going forward, whereas in years prior, I think they would have played patty cake, put the bubble wrap on him, say we're just got to get him through preseason and let him go in the initial. Do you think they're saying, let's play him early, let's play him often, let's get him running, let's get his body used to taking some hits so that by the time that the real pads are strapped up, this guy he's a bit of a human meat missile, if you will.
I'll tell you this, listening to Mark Tauscher respond to that Matt LaFleur comment, or someone I think they may have asked him about it. Tauscher immediately cut Wildy off and said, well, I'd love to see that study. Why haven't we seen that study made public? Like he was so defensive right off the bat as a player, obviously. And one that who's the end of his career kind of came to a screeching halt with injuries. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. It to me, on one hand, it makes sense, right? Like, okay, you got to get your body ready. But I've got PTSD from Jordy Nelson tearing his ACL in the second quarter of the Pittsburgh game in that preseason. You remember that, Tim? So the study didn't work out there, did it, sir?
Well, and I think too. Remember the telltale kind of thing that made everybody fall in love with Dan Campbell is when he basically cried on Hard Knocks. He's like, I'll do everything for you guys. You got to trust me. You got to put your body on the line right now. And then, spitting and drinking coffee. And then
was it Dan Campbell or Waylon Jennings?
It was Dan Campbell. But you look at now, where are the Lions at right now? Half their team's on IR. You know what I mean? Guys that have been on IR now for a year and a half plus. So is it a double-edged sword? I'm sure it is, but I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting subject. Did you see that, Emilio? I saw you kind of shaking your head along.
Yeah, no, I was listening to Matt. They were asking him. They kind of asked Matt for the numbers. They go, so what's the play amount? How many times? He goes, well, I'll get you the numbers if you need them. But he was like, I just remember seeing the information. I jotted it down. It came from the NFL, and we're going to move forward with that. And I always thought that he was going to play him just because. Why would you not want him to get into a rhythm? Matt said it too. We got a noon game, we've got a late afternoon game, and we got a night game. 3 games perfect to get him ready for any of the games we're probably going to see, unless it's a different day or something. But I think it's just the preparation, the practice. Obviously, Jordan's done it. The first team's done it. But just getting into the rhythm, you got a couple new guys. You might as well run a snap or two. If something happens, I'm going to feel terrible. But I think that the benefit outweighs the risk a little bit of getting some of that rust kicked off.
Mm-hmm. Jacob, you made a great point. And Tim, I want to get your take on it because that is what Dan Campbell's known for. And like Jacob pointed out, I mean, look at how many injuries they sustained, dude. And it's still happening. It's still happening to this day, right? I mean, didn't they have somebody go down the other day in the preseason game? Am I thinking right? But nonetheless, it's just – you've got those defensive tackles, like Jacob said, man. It's carrying over from last year too, and we don't know if Aiden Hutchinson's going to be the same. I assume he will because he's a freak, but I don't know. What's your take on that, Tim? How do you feel about that? Maybe would you rather them play it safe in preseason, or would you say, man, just turn them loose? You're muted, brother. Whoa,
The hell was that?
that was weird. Hold on a minute, Tim.
Tim, I don't know what's going on there.
Tim spilling his guts over there. Tim, that was the strangest thing I've ever seen, man. You sounded like a chipmunk, bro. That was crazy. Try it now, Tim. Try it now. No.
My knee.
Tim, we're not laughing at you, buddy, but you would be rolling if you could hear the way you sound.
It kind of sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I was going to say Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's
Times
Alvin,
10,
Simon, and Theodore.
like, even faster than that. I don't know how it's happening.
I just love this comment from Tool for this. He says, Dan Campbell probably hits 20 in blackjack. Yeah, probably does. I'll stay.
Let's try it again, Tim, one more time, man.
All right. Do I still sound like an animated character?
There you
You're
go.
good now, man.
Okay. All right. So the truth lies somewhere in the middle, I think, for me.
FBI listening in. So you think it's right in the middle somewhere, right, Tim?
Yeah, you don't want guys to sit and collect dust, right? You know, and if you try to be overprotective, it can have, you know, devastating effects down the road when your guy steps on the field. We saw, what was that, a couple years ago in the Super Bowl, we saw a guy blow his whole leg out just running onto the field.
Was that Fred Warner? Wasn't it Fred Warner? Or,
I thought it was Willis. Was it Patrick Willis?
No. It was not Campbell. What was his name? Devondre Campbell replaced him. Greenlaw.
Green. That's right.
And you got to think, like, you're grinding through a season. It's like, if, you know, what did his preseason load look like? You know, how long did it take for him to get his wheels turning? You're in the last game of the year and you run out on the field and it's over with. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I'd like to see the ones get some you know, reps together early and then get them off the field. And then you continue to build going forward. And, you know, by that final game against Seattle, you know, as we round out figuring out who this 53 is going to be, I think you probably want to see, you know, the most you've seen from your ones in a preseason game by that point of the year, going into week one, you know. So I'm kind of in the middle. You want to protect your guys, but, you know, we got to remember we got, you know, a lot of changes there on that O-line, you know. So we want to get that chemistry going with Big E and Jordan, you know, get the snaps down, those kind of things, and get Jordan used to these new receivers that he has to go out there and play with against, you know, live game speed. So I'm somewhere in the middle, man. I think the guy should play a little bit for sure.
I think that's a pretty fair way of looking at it. 'Cause I don't think they should go out there and play a whole half, but I think there is something to be said for getting guys into the routine and do it all 3 weeks. They may not play, but make them dress. And people may think, oh, that's silly. Why does that matter? It matters. If they don't know if they're going to play or not, and they have to prepare to play, then they have to get into that routine every
the mindset.
Matt made that comment, right? He said we want everyone prepared to play every game.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Emilio. What were you saying, man?
I was just saying, no, even the mindset of just prepping, like you and Tim were both saying, just getting into the idea of, hey, we're playing a real NFL game right now. Obviously, it's preseason, but it's still NFL. We're still strapping up, still wearing the G, all that.
Yeah.
Yep.